Once again, hello. My name is Juraj Mojik. I'm a developer here at Resco, and I'm going to walk you through the new features of Resco Mobile CRM. At first, as usual, a couple of organizational things. This webinar is being recorded, and the recording will be made available on YouTube in a couple of days. Then you are all muted, but if you have any questions, feel free to write them into GoToWebinar window and I will answer them at the end of the webinar. I think we are good to go, so let me start. We have summer, and summer means new release of Resco Mobile CRM. This time it's 9.1 and it's our summer release for 2016. It has been released approximately a week ago, June 22nd, which means all the applications, iOS, Android, Windows, and the Woodford customization tool have been made available on this date, and therefore you can use them right now. We've introduced more than 30 new features, and the first part of them we will look at today. So what we will go for is the integration with Salesforce and Oracle. Then new scenarios or templates for Resco CRM, our standalone server, and 3 new features: appointments from Exchange, redesigned Resco chat, and a new project template. And finally, I will also explain and introduce the Dynamics CRM JavaScript compatibility, which I think will make a lot of the implementations much easier. So let's start. Integrations are a big topic for Resco these days. They mean that we are opening up our solution from just Dynamics CRM to other systems. First and foremost, I want to say that Dynamics CRM is still our #1 backend system, and it's still the system where our application works the best and where our mobile solution is intended for. But we've seen these requests really a lot to make available our mobile experience for other systems. These requests came from you, our partners and customers, and we understood that the mobile experience on these other systems is not really the same as it is with our mobile application. So we've decided to bring this familiar experience to other systems. This means the same mobile application, and by this I really mean the same mobile application, the one which you can download from all the stores, and the same application you can really use for Dynamics CRM and other systems. And it also means the same customization tool, so Woodford, the tool which you are all familiar with. So let's check, how does it work? Here is the picture, the architecture of the overall solution, and you may notice it's a little bit more complex than with Dynamics CRM. So let me go through the main components. You have here the backend system, in this case Salesforce or Oracle Sales Cloud. You have the mobile application, Resco Mobile CRM, and you have Woodford, the customization tool. But in the middle of it all, there is another component, Resco Server, which somehow makes it all possible. So it's not such a direct integration as with Dynamics CRM, and maybe this type of integration will follow later. But for now, it is an architecture like this. So let's go into more details. How does it work? If you try this for the first time, the first step is that the metadata from the Salesforce or Oracle or the backend system will be downloaded or applied to the Resco server. I will explain this in more detail in a couple of minutes, but this is the first step, that the metadata are downloaded from Salesforce or Oracle to Resco server. Then the next step is using of mobile application, where this metadata or user experience definition is downloaded to the mobile CRM application, and the mobile application updates accordingly as you are used with Woodford and Dynamics CRM. However, the data synchronization is direct, so there is no data going from Resco server to mobile CRM, only the metadata. Therefore, the data synchronization goes directly from Salesforce or Oracle to Mobile CRM. However, there is one more point. If you would like to customize the application a bit more, you just have to use Woodford, define the user experience against the Resco server, and then again, as usual, Mobile CRM application will download this customization package and update accordingly. So to summarize, the data synchronization is direct. Whether you have Dynamics, whether you have Salesforce or Oracle, the data will go directly from mobile application to the server and back. Only metadata is stored on the Resco server, so the definition of what the entities are, what the fields are, how the mobile project should look like, only this information is stored on the Resco server, and the mobile application will get it from the Resco server. Finally, if you want to perform some additional customizations, just use Woodford and work as you are used to. As I said, I will now explain this metadata process a bit more. What does it mean and how does it work? So when someone tries this for the first time, there are a couple of first steps that will happen. And the first thing is that there will be an organization created automatically on the Resco server. So you don't have to fill any names or do anything manually. This will happen automatically, and Resco server organization will be created. Also, a user, an administration user, will be created that can be used later for the Woodford customization. Once this is done, a second step is in effect, and metadata web service is used to get metadata from Salesforce or Oracle and create similar entities on the Resco server. So during this process, entities that exist on Salesforce or Oracle and their fields are created on the Resco server, and also their properties are set, so maximum lengths and other ones. Finally, a default project is uploaded and published on the Resco server. We have created very nice default project for Salesforce and for Oracle, which is automatically applied to Resco server and published, so you can start using not the Dynamics CRM project, the standard one, but a customized one for Oracle or Salesforce. Just note that this process requires system administration rights on Salesforce or Oracle. So the first user trying this process has to be a system administrator on these systems. So a couple of more details about each of the platforms. On the Salesforce, I think we have pretty good support at this moment. This means that on the data level, we support all the standard entities. Whichever you enable in Woodford, these standard entities will be downloaded, synchronized, etc. And the same applies for custom entities. So on the data level, everything you would expect works already. With the business logic, with some automatic calculations and so on, we are only at the beginning, so there is really only a minimal support but we are building on what we have. The default project contains entities like opportunities, leads, tasks, events, accounts, contacts, and users, but also dashboards, maps, route planning, and a couple of other nice features, and you will see them in a sec. There is a bit of to-do on our end as well, especially when it comes to business logic. So, for example, converting or qualifying a lead, converting an activity, or price calculation or opportunities, selecting opportunity products, and so on. This is still on our to-do list. But I still believe that we are on a good track here, and if you start working with this at this very moment, I'm sure that within the next release, we will have all this covered. With the Oracle Sales Cloud, the situation is a bit more complex because of the services that this technology provides. And on the data level, we have partial support. What this means that we have support for standard entities like activities, accounts, contacts, leads, opportunities, resources, and addresses. But any other standard entity, even if you would try to enable it using Woodford, it wouldn't just work. That's how it works with Oracle Sales Cloud. So all the standard entities, we have to add them into our product ourselves, and therefore only these which are listed on the screen are currently supported. Surprisingly, with custom entities, it's different. Custom entities work right away. So for custom entities, we have full support. And if your logic, if your data resides in custom entities on Oracle Sales Cloud, you can start using them right away. Similarly with business logic, we have only limited support for now, but I think it's better to show this all to you rather than talk about it. So let me start Windows application this time. Okay, here we are. And I'm using this application because I want to show you one new feature that we have, and that's the intro screen or some tutorial. But I don't mean this one, which we can skip, but this one. This is the experience that the first or new user of Resco Mobile CRM will have. And because we are adding more backends and we are opening this for more systems, we decided that it would make sense to help the user find out what actually he wants to do and how he wants to do it. So here he can select if he's an existing user of a CRM system, if he's an internal or external user, or if he doesn't have a CRM organization, he can create one, or he can completely skip this and just use demo data. Because I want to show you how we integrate with Salesforce, I'm going to select internal user here because I'm a user of a CRM system and I'm an internal user. So the URL will be salesforce.com. I will now copy and paste my username. Okay. And I will also copy my password, but here is a bit more complex. Just to know, the password is actually a combination of the user password and security token. If you don't know how to obtain this or how to combine them together, just check our support web page and look for the information how to synchronize, and it is all written there. So once I have this, I can initiate synchronization, delete database, and here I have to provide my contact information, so I'll just put it there. Some phone number and Slovakia. That's it. And here I see information which is useful if I want to do some customization with Woodford. So I can see the name of the organization on the Resco CRM server that has been created. As you can see, it's really a generated name. There is a URL I have to use and my username. All of this is sent within an email to my email address, so no problem with this. I can look it up later and then work with the Woodford tool as I want. So I can now click connect. And what now starts to happen is that now our application is detecting that you are connecting to Salesforce, and it's checking if your organization already exists on Resco CRM server. It finds that it doesn't exist, and therefore it will create a new one. It will also connect to Salesforce metadata services and find out what kind of entities are there on this Salesforce organization. It will create these entities on the Resco CRM server, and it will also apply the default project for Salesforce and publish this project. Once all this will be finished, it will automatically start synchronization. As you can see, it happened right now. As you can see, it's also quite fast. And I see that my application was updated. And what I have here is the default project for Salesforce. As you can immediately see, it looks a bit different. We have inspired the look by the look of Salesforce, and I can quickly guide you through what we have here. So here we have a little dashboard showing some charts, some events and tasks. Here we have opportunities. There are also a couple of views already defined. I can open one of the opportunities. As you can see, we have nice support for all the lookups. This really works as you would expect. As I mentioned on the opportunities, there are not yet the opportunity products, so you can only provide the amount manually, but my colleagues are already working on this, and I believe it will be available, if not in one of the minor updates, then definitely in the autumn. We have leads. Again, a couple of nice views. A form for a lead, some tasks, accounts with associated contacts, tasks, details, addresses, and some more. Similarly, contact information with a nice form, calendar showing tasks for today, users, map, and the route plan. But similarly to Dynamics CRM, also on Salesforce, there are latitude and longitude fields, but they are not filled in with data in the sample data that you will get, so you have to provide them manually or in some automatic way also for the Salesforce system. So right now, if I go into calendar and create a new task, that right now I'm having a webinar, and I'll select this user. It will appear in the calendar here, and when I initiate synchronization, this event will go directly to Salesforce. Simple as that. I will continue with my demonstration and show you how we connect to Oracle Sales Cloud. For that, I will restart the application, and again I will clear the local data which I have here, and I will start the application again. Okay, so this time I will also go through this dialog, but this time I already have created the Oracle organization. So what I will do, I will provide the URL of my Oracle Sales Cloud server, my login, and my password. And this time it is not creating any Resco CRM organization. It has detected that the Resco CRM organization is already there, so everything has been taken from there, and it will just take the project which is there. This time, as you can see, the project looks more as you are used to from Dynamics CRM. And again, we have a little dashboard here and a calendar which is showing the activity entity, which is here. We have also Sales Cloud accounts here. If I open the form, you can see that we have some nice tabs like maps, associated contacts, associated leads, opportunities, and so on. We have also address, and address is an entity in Oracle Sales Cloud, similarly to how it is done in Dynamics CRM. And as you can see, we've done already some work so that we are showing the address information directly on the form without showing some associated tabs and so on. Similarly, we have the Sales Cloud contacts, which are here, Sales Cloud leads, opportunities. Here we have some nice color coding for the opportunities which are based on the win probability. So if I change this to 80, you can see that my opportunity will be not highlighted, or if I change this to 0, my opportunity will be highlighted in red, and this one above 90% is green. We have resources which are the users of this system, and also all the addresses that are on our Oracle Sales Cloud implementation. All of this can be customized with Woodford. So what you have seen with Sales Cloud, what you have seen with Salesforce, both these projects can be further customized with the Woodford tool. So what you want to add or how you want to add it, you just need to use the Woodford tool and perform your customizations. Next part of my presentation is about Resco CRM server and the scenarios which we have extended there. So as you have noticed, we have this Resco CRM server or Resco server which can play many different roles. In the Salesforce or Oracle scenario, it is playing a role of an integration server. But it can also be a standalone CRM solution which offers a couple of templates you can start working with. And here are the templates. It's actually a sales template. We have improved the one which has been available up until now. There is an exciting new field service template that you can start work with. There's also a template for customer applications, and there is a marketing template, or I probably should say there will be a marketing template because this one is still in the works, but I believe in one of the minor updates it will be made available. So the sales template, maybe you have tried Resco CRM server already, and if you did, you know that there is a sales template you start working with, so sales demo data, sales project, sales entities, and there was this deal entity which we used to kind of capture opportunities, orders, invoices, quotes all in one. And we found out that this is not what most of our customers are looking for. So we have divided this into opportunities, orders, invoices, quotes. We've added leads, made the conversions available. So everything you basically know from Dynamics CRM default project is available in the advanced sales template. But as I said, the more exciting one is the field service template. We've identified that the field service is a process which is quite common for CRM scenarios, and also that it is quite standardized. We have identified that there is a pattern which keeps repeating through all field service implementations. And our scenario was something like this. You get a phone call from a customer that something is going wrong and it needs a repair. So you create an incident. From this incident, you can create a work order, which basically defines how the work is going to be done, who is going to do the work, and what is needed. And you can also track the progress within this work order. Once you are done, an invoice can be generated, so you can send the customer what is required from him to pay. The work order itself is actually based on something we call incident template. This is a template defining what kinds of tools, skills, and resources will be required to fix this incident or case. So you can define that, okay, you will need a hammer, you will need a screwdriver, you will need someone who is able to fix an air conditioning or whatever the incident is. Once you have this defined, you can create a work order where you can track all of this, which products have been used, services have been provided, which tasks have been completed, and based on this, calculations are done. So, for example, total amount is calculated or on how much percent the job is done. The customer application template is something showcasing the external user application. So this is a template that is targeting users outside of the organization. So far we've been talking about the CRM use for the internal users, so employees, but this is going beyond that. And this is a little demo application. If you try this, you will find out it's a demo application for a restaurant scenario. So there are locations of these restaurants or restaurant chain. There are products that this restaurant is serving, and there are some promotions. It's a simple but nice application that serves as a good starting point for all the customer applications, especially if you are targeting something like a restaurant or a shop or something similar. And finally, the marketing. Here, as I have mentioned, this is not available yet, but this is a very nice thing that will offer a MailChimp integration. So you will be able to create some marketing lists, send emails, track who has opened the email, and so on, all using MailChimp integration. And more details will follow once this is out. So again, let's start with a little demonstration. And also this time, I will start with my desktop application and I will start with the welcome screen. But this time, I don't have a CRM organization yet, so I want to create a new one. I will sign up, provide my information. And this time I have to choose what my organization will be. So it will be webinar field service. I will provide my very strong password. And when I click next, I can select from the templates. There is the sales template, there is the field service, and the consumer apps template. So I will select field service. And again, this time it's creating a new organization on the Resco CRM server, but this time it will use the field service template and it will also provide all the demo data so I can see what I'm working with, and it will also create the project for me, which I can later use. I can customize it, but I will also show you how to actually work with this template. And we have the application updated. And as you can immediately see, there are some new entities. I will click through them so you can see that really there are some demo data. There is a demo database, so you can check out what's already there. But I will start with the process as I have explained it. So, for example, let's say that we've got a phone call that an elevator has a problem. And from this phone call, I can create a case or incident. For example, for the Art Shopping Mall, I can close this phone call and open the incident instead. And in this incident, I can provide some more information, but most interestingly, I can provide the incident type, which is the incident template that I've tried to describe a couple of minutes ago. So let's say that we have a repair of commercial lifts. That's the template that I want to use because it's an elevator problem. And from here, I can immediately create a work order. So we have the incident that happened, and I want to send some people there to fix it. So I'll click create work order, and again, some information has been pre-filled. But this might be surprising. I already have a duration estimated, so 5 hours, 31 minutes. I have some completion percent, estimated amount, so $860, and I can let the system calculate the actual amount. If I check what I have here, there are already some products assigned. So I can see that there is some door adjustment and maintenance service to be done. And there are some tasks that people need to perform at the site, like check cables or conduct testing. So if I save this, I can now emulate what's happening. So first of all, I want to go to the schedules and I want to dispatch some people. So for example, Bob, and I want Bob to go there right away and maybe spend there an hour. I also want John to go there, but he will spend there, let's say, 2 hours. As you can see, they can later track when they arrived, when they actually started working or when they ended working. And what's really nice about this, that when they will use this application and open their work schedule, they will immediately see from there all the work order details. So they will basically see this screen with all the additional tabs. So let's say if they've already arrived at the place and they can say, okay, I've already done the door adjustment. So what he can do is it can just click here and it's done. And if I go into info, you can already see that the total amount has been calculated. So the actual service was used and the price of that service was applied here. If I would say that, okay, he has been there longer, you will see that the price here has also increased. Besides that, I can say both of these are completed, or I can say that, okay, I have used, for example, elevator certification, and this also will be added into the total amount. When it comes to tasks, here I can say how much time I have spent during doing this task. So here I can say, okay, I've done this for 60 minutes, but this one I've spent 70 minutes doing this, and all this one I've spent only 20 minutes doing. And if I go back on the info tab, you can see that the completion percent is now 39. So again, it takes all the tasks and combines them and finds out how many percent the task or the work order is being complete. So let's say our guys have performed their job. So I can now create an invoice. And again, information is copied here. You can see that the total amount is present and also all the products are listed here. So I can use this invoice and send it to the customer. Look, this is what I have performed and this is the sum that you have to pay. A really nice scenario, pre-configured for you to use, and again using Woodford tool and connecting directly to Resco CRM server, you can customize this for your needs. So if there is a customer who is, some repair service or have field technicians, I think that they can really find a lot of use in this scenario. Okay, so let's get back to the presentation. And now I will go through a couple of new features that we have added. And the first one is Exchange appointments and the integration with Exchange. As you might know, we already have direct integration with Exchange. This means that we are not connecting through Dynamics CRM. The mobile application connects directly through Exchange and get the data directly from the Exchange server. We already download emails and contacts, and right now we have added appointments from Exchange, so you will see them in the mobile application. They will be visible directly in the calendar and in all the appointments views, and you can use the regarding field which will be available on that appointment to convert them or create a CRM appointment out of that. At the moment, support for recurring appointments is not available, so this will come in the autumn release. We have redesigned Resco Chat. So we already had a lot of plans for some instant messaging application. And finally, we found some time to work on this. And we actually took the Resco chat, which has been there. Not sure if any of you have even tried it or what do you think about it, but we have actually simplified it. We have improved it slightly and make it more visually appealing. So right now there are some channels where you can write, and there are some direct messages which you can send to the users which are using the mobile CRM system. These posts or messages can contain obviously text, but you can also tag some entities like, hey, check out this opportunity or check out this product. And you can also attach pictures, audio, video, as you would expect from our application. To do this, you just have to enable chat and put my wall or the chat item on the home, and you are done. We are also working on the Dynamics CRM plugin or iframe, so this will mean that you will be able to use the Resco chat in one of the future updates, also in the Dynamics CRM web application. And we have also improved the default project. So right now, if you have started Woodford and created a mobile project, there was a very simple mobile project which you could start with. We have decided that it's time for even better one, an extended project template. And it contains a lot of features. It basically showcases a lot of the features that our application can do, like show you the new form UI, all the Exchange things are enabled, home groups, route planning, and much more. So let's find out what it actually does. So this time I will start with the Resco Woodford. And I will create a new project. And what you immediately can notice that there is this new option called template. The default is the project you already know, and that's the simple one, but let's go for the extended one. Let's call this one extended project. And let's put the priority, for example, 10. All right. Here we go. And if I open that project and go, for example, into the home form, you can immediately see that it looks a bit different. There are already some home groups defined, some other items defined. So as you can see, it's already customized. I can also go, for example, into the account form, and you can see again, a lot of customizations have been done here. But I will show you that in a moment. What I want to do is enable chat. If you want to manage channels, here is the link where you can do that. And for the chat to be available in the application, I have to put it here on the top. And I also want to show you the Exchange, but instead of going for the full synchronization, I will just enable calendar. The reason for that is that I have a lot of emails and it would take a lot of time to synchronize. For the same reason, I will also make sure that I will download only a smaller version of attachments. So I will publish my project, and I will also start my iPad. Okay. Just a little moment. Okay. So here is my application. I've already synchronized. And as you can see on the very top, I have my wall. That's the chat item I have edit. And as you can see, it already opens up a nice looking chat window. That is with my colleague Michael, where I already uploaded a picture, and as you can see, I already have been at his desk, but he wasn't there. So I just want to write one more post that I'm having a webinar. Let's hit send. I can also add some pictures or capture video or even mention an entity. So for example, if I want him to check this account, I can say that. Oops, sorry. I have just changed the channel to Miro, but it doesn't matter. Alright, sorry, I think we have some audio issues, but I'll just keep continuing and just show you what we have in the extended project template. So this is the chat, a very useful thing for sending direct messages. It also utilizes push notifications, which means that even the users which have not application running will get a notification that there is some a new message waiting for them, and also this automatically detects if there is connectivity, and if there is connectivity, it will send the messages right away without storing them in the offline. In the extended project, we have already added favorites, and by adding favorites, this means that on every entity form, you can just favorite your record and it will appear here in the favorites. We have also revamped the dashboards, which show some nice charts, which also shows a new feature which I will talk about more tomorrow, so where a calendar can be present almost anywhere in the application. We have also added a home group which will show map, calendar, or route planning. We have added activities, and here you can see that I have activities from not only Dynamics CRM, but also from Exchange. This is the one that's actually my real appointment, which I have in my calendar. And if I click here regarding, this is all the information from the Exchange that I have regarding this appointment. But if I select regarding, and if I select that, okay, it's regarding this opportunity, you can see that immediately the tracking mechanism is triggered because the organizer is trying to be resolved, and the system is trying to create or associate a user of Dynamics CRM with one of the organizers or with one of the required attendees. Let me go quickly through the remaining new features of the extended project. There is actually a lot of them happening, so if I open a form, you can see that we are really utilizing the new form UI. It's opening in full screen. It's quite customized, so you can see all the things happening in here or here. If I open contacts, for example, this one is an external contact, but this one has a LinkedIn page where we are trying to resolve the LinkedIn profile of that user, so showcasing also that. We have for leads, we have actually a lot of nice things implemented, like if you click on one of these images, you can change directly the rating of that particular lead. But again, this is something I will explain how to set up and how to work with in tomorrow's webinar. Also products, they are customized. Also sales, which is actually an entity hub, so it is showcasing all the opportunities, quotes, invoices, and orders all in one, and so on and so on. It's great that it's not only customized, so you can really start using this project and showing it to your potential customers if you are a partner. But it's also great as a learning tool, as what the application and what Woodford tool actually can do. and you can check out how each part of this is set up in Woodford and use it as a basis of your own customizations. So if I go back to my presentation, there is one more topic I wanted to discuss, and that's the Dynamics CRM JavaScript compatibility. I believe this is a big thing which will make many implementations much quicker and much better or much more effectively done. And what this means is that we have started doing some partial compatibility. Actually, this is one of the good things that came with the CWR acquisition. They already had some JavaScript SDK that was very similar to Dynamics CRM SDK. And since we wanted to have full support for their project in our own technology, we actually got Dynamics CRM SDK compatibility right away. What this means is there is the CRM SDK version 2011, which we have used as a reference, and there are all or many of the objects that you are used to work with, like XRM page, XRM data entity, our page data entity attribute, UI control, and so on and so on. But I want to say that not all of the methods are implemented. Some of them do not make any sense in mobile application. Some of them are more difficult to implement, and some of them are very easy and straightforward to implement, and they are there. If you want to see a complete list of what's actually present, what's not present, what's going to be present, I've created a PDF that is part of the package that you can just download and check which events, which methods, which functions, which objects are supported and which are not. So to do all this, you will need a package that contains files like Bridge.js, exec.js, and mobile SDK. And there is a web page, initialize HTML, that you need to put on a form and add some handlers, like what you want to happen when some field has changed, basically initialize the logic there. But besides this, you can then utilize all the JavaScript that is supported. So basically write the same JavaScript files for Resco Mobile CRM and for Dynamics CRM. I know it's partial compatibility, so it will never be 100% the same, but it's a good starting point and it will definitely save a lot of time. So if you want to check it all out, just go to Resco support page, check out help for configuration, and at the very bottom there is the new package for Dynamics CRM SDK compatibility, which will contain all the files and the PDF explaining which features and which functions are supported and which not. There are more new features which I'm going to talk about tomorrow, but before I conclude this presentation, I would like to answer some of the questions that have been asked during my presentation. So let me quickly check it. Okay, so there are two questions from Luis. First one is about chat, and if it's available for field service. I believe that this is the field one project or customization that there is, and that can be purchased with Dynamics CRM. Field 1 technology is a couple of versions behind Resco, which means that all these new features will eventually come to the Field 1 mobile application and mobile solution, but at this very point you will not find chat available in these projects. The second question from Louis was if the extended projects are available for Dynamics CRM, and that's correct. They are available actually only for Dynamics CRM. So you will not find them for Salesforce, Oracle, or Resco CRM Server. We have a couple of new questions. So a question from Chris about the encryption on Resco CRM, Resco Mobile CRM. And if the encryption meets the requirements for, I believe the abbreviation HIPAA means something about healthcare and their regulations there. As far as I know, they weren't exactly what the requirements of the health administration are. But I think that this discussion would probably need to follow through our support channel, where we can answer more precisely this question and maybe start a discussion about this. The next question from Marlin. So if you can have one instance of Woodford with Salesforce and Dynamics both included. Now for this, you can use standalone Woodford. Probably if you have been working with Dynamics, you have been using Woodford as integrated solution or imported solution into Dynamics CRM. For Salesforce and for Oracle, you will have to use the standalone Woodford. So there is no imported option for these other technologies. But you can use one standalone application to connect to Dynamics, to connect to Salesforce and Oracle, or even Resco CRM. There is a question from Bjorn about handling of two-factor authentication in Office 365. As far as I know, currently we do not have support for that. But again, this is a question that probably should be better answered by our support, as they can provide you more up-to-date answer to this particular question. Resco Chat, a question from IO, Resco Chat and Resco standalone CRM, if it's possible to use this combination. And yes, we are working on that. Right now, there is no web application counterpart. So you can enable Resco Chat for Resco CRM, but you cannot just use the web application. You have to use mobile application and use chat in there. But besides not being able to use it in the web application, Resco CRM and chat, no problem. A new question from Luis is basically the same thing, but Dynamics CRM and Resco Chat, if it can be used for communication between mobile users and the back office. And as I mentioned during the presentation, this would require a component in the web application of Microsoft Dynamics CRM. And this is something we are actively working on. And in one of the minor updates that will follow, this iframe solution, or this solution which you can put into your Dynamics CRM, will be there. So just wait a couple of more days and yes, this will be possible. And final question from Chris about creating reports for Resco CRM. Here I would recommend using OData because you can really use all the different reporting services, connect to OData and OData provided by Resco CRM, and create any report that you like. So this is my answer. Take a look at what OData services are provided by Resco CRM, and this is the best way how to create reports. Thank you all very much for the attention. There are a couple of more new features which I will talk about actually tomorrow at the same time and at the same place. Here is a list of what we are going to go through. This one will be a bit more technical, so I will be showing more how you can set up all this, like improvements in the calendar, all the nice images that you may have seen in the extended project. I will talk about voice control of the application, new formats for reports, search view, JavaScript bridge improvements, and a bit more. Thank you very much for attention, and hopefully we will hear ourselves tomorrow.